Stoicism is a philosophy that originated in ancient Greece and flourished in Rome, offering a profound perspective on life and human existence. Founded by Zeno of Citium, Stoicism teaches that true happiness is achieved not through external circumstances, but through mastering our responses to them. At its core, Stoicism emphasizes resilience, emotional control, and personal growth as the keys to living a virtuous life. In a world where stress, distractions, and uncontrollable events often leave us feeling helpless, Stoic principles offer a guiding light on how to navigate life's challenges with clarity and composure. One of the most appealing aspects of Stoicism is its practicality. Stoics believe that while we cannot control what happens around us, we can control how we react. This idea provides a foundation for emotional fortitude. By learning to focus on what is within our control, we free ourselves from the chaos of the uncontrollable. By embracing Stoic philosophy in our everyday life, we gain tools to manage stress, face adversity, and grow into better versions of ourselves. Whether facing personal setbacks, professional obstacles, or the everyday trials of life, Stoicism offers a timeless path to resilience. In Stoic thought, resilience is not about mere survival in the face of hardship, but about thriving despite it. Resilience, according to Stoicism, is the ability to remain steadfast and virtuous in the face of challenges, and it is deeply rooted in the Stoic principle of focusing on what is within our control. For the Stoic, inner strength comes from understanding that external circumstances, whether they are successes or failures, praise or criticism, do not define us. Rather, it is how we choose to respond that truly shapes our character. The connection between inner strength and external circumstances is a central tenet of Stoicism. While life is often unpredictable, Stoics teach us to be grounded in the knowledge that external events are not the root of our suffering. Our perception of those events is. For example, losing a job or experiencing a setback might feel like a personal defeat, but a Stoic would view such an event as an opportunity for growth and reflection. The hardships we face are the crucibles in which resilience is forged, allowing us to develop emotional fortitude, patience, and wisdom. Challenges and difficulties, therefore, are not to be avoided, but embraced. Each obstacle presents a chance to practice virtues like patience, courage, and temperance, qualities that strengthen the Stoic character. The Stoic sees hardship not as an enemy to fight against, but as a teacher that sharpens the mind and spirit, providing the opportunity to cultivate resilience and strength. Self-reflection holds a central place in Stoic philosophy. For the Stoic, true wisdom comes not only from learning about the world, but also from understanding oneself. Through self-reflection, we come to know our thoughts, actions, and reactions in a deeper way, allowing us to take control of our responses to life's challenges. This introspection helps us identify patterns of behavior that hinder our growth, while also revealing the strengths that propel us forward. One of the most powerful tools for self-reflection in Stoicism is the practice of journaling. Daily writing allows individuals to reflect on their thoughts and actions, ensuring they stay aligned with Stoic values. The Stoic asks themselves questions like, did I react with anger today? Was I focused on what is in my control? By taking time each day to review our actions and thoughts, we develop a heightened awareness of how we respond to the world around us. This awareness is the first step in learning how to control our reactions instead of being controlled by them. For example, after a stressful day at work, a Stoic might reflect on the events of the day. If they were frustrated with a colleague, they would analyze what triggered the frustration and consider how they could have responded with more patience or understanding. Through this process, the Stoic doesn't just learn to control emotions, but also gains insight into the nature of their own desires, fears, and attachments. Self-reflection, then, is a tool for personal growth, allowing us to navigate life with wisdom, emotional control, and resilience. In Stoicism, emotional control is not about suppressing or denying emotions, but about responding to them with rationality and virtue. The Stoics believe that emotions such as anger, frustration, and fear arise from mistaken judgments about the world around us. These emotions are often the result of attaching our happiness to things outside our control. By changing our perspective, Stoicism teaches us to respond to life's challenges with calm, clarity, and reason, rather than being swept away by emotional impulses. One key Stoic practice for managing emotions is the technique of premeditation of adversity. In this practice, we mentally prepare ourselves for potential challenges and setbacks that could trigger strong emotions. By imagining how we might feel in difficult situations, we reduce the shock when they occur in real life, allowing us to maintain composure. This proactive approach helps us stay grounded and less reactive in the face of adversity. Another powerful tool is distancing, which involves stepping back from a situation to view it objectively. When anger or frustration arise, a Stoic might remind themselves that external events don't have inherent power over their emotions, only their thoughts and judgments do. By reframing the situation, such as recognizing that a delay or a criticism is not a personal attack, but simply an event to manage, we can prevent negative emotions from taking over. The Stoic view on negative emotions like anger is that they are natural reactions to what we perceive as injustices or obstacles. However, the Stoics emphasize the importance of not acting on these emotions, as doing so can lead to harm and regret. Instead, they encourage forgiveness and rational detachment, where we acknowledge the emotion, understand its origin, and choose a measured response. In this way, emotional control becomes an act of wisdom and self-preservation, leading to greater peace and resilience. One of the most essential aspects of Stoic practice is the setting of clear boundaries, both externally with others and internally within ourselves. Boundaries help protect our emotional and mental well-being, ensuring that we do not overextend ourselves or allow external demands to violate our inner peace. In Stoic thought, protecting one's peace of mind is a sacred duty, as it is through a stable mind that we can cultivate virtue, focus, and strength. Setting boundaries is about recognizing what is within our control and what is not. The Stoic teaches that we are responsible for our own actions, thoughts, and reactions, but we cannot control the behaviors of others. This recognition allows us to set healthy boundaries that protect our emotional health. For instance, when dealing with difficult people or situations, a Stoic might establish limits, such as choosing not to engage in toxic conversations or declining requests that threaten their personal time or values. Stoicism encourages boundaries as a form of self-preservation and wisdom. By recognizing when to say no or step away from harmful situations, we ensure that we can preserve our energy for what truly matters, such as personal growth, relationships, and achieving virtuous goals. At the same time, Stoicism emphasizes the importance of balance. We can set boundaries while still practicing kindness and empathy. A Stoic boundary might be expressed with understanding, saying, "I cannot do this for you right now, but I wish you the best," rather than reacting with anger or guilt. The balance between kindness and self-preservation is key. Stoics believe that while we should be generous and supportive of others, we must also recognize that we cannot give what we do not have. Setting boundaries is a form of respecting ourselves and others, ensuring we are emotionally available and at our best when we are needed. Forgiveness is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, not just as a means to mend relationships with others, but as a vital practice for self-preservation. The Stoics recognize that holding on to anger, resentment, or grudges can harm the individual far more than the one who has wronged them. Therefore, the act of forgiveness is seen as an essential step toward healing and maintaining inner peace. For the Stoic, forgiveness is rooted in the understanding that we cannot control the actions of others. People will act in ways that may cause us pain or frustration, but how we respond to these actions is within our control. When we choose to forgive, we free ourselves from the emotional chains that hold us in a state of bitterness and anger. Forgiveness is thus an act of personal empowerment, where we choose to relinquish our attachment to past wrongs and focus on the present moment and future growth. Forgiveness also aligns closely with the Stoic belief in virtue over external circumstances. The Stoic perspective is that no one can truly harm us unless we allow them to affect our minds. By practicing forgiveness, we refuse to allow another person's behavior to disturb our peace or dictate our emotional state. In this way, forgiveness is both an act of emotional control and of compassion for others and ourselves. The benefits of forgiveness in Stoicism are profound. Letting go of resentment clears the mind, opens the heart, and creates space for growth. It allows us to focus on what is truly within our control, which is our thoughts, actions, and character. By practicing forgiveness, we not only heal from past wounds, but also cultivate a more resilient and virtuous mindset, ultimately bringing greater inner peace and personal growth. One of the cornerstones of Stoic philosophy is its approach to change and unpredictability. Stoics believe that change is an inevitable and constant part of life, and that resisting it only leads to frustration and suffering. Instead of fighting against change, Stoicism teaches us to embrace it. The Stoic approach to change focuses on developing the mental flexibility and resilience needed to adapt without losing our peace of mind. By acknowledging that change is outside our control, we release the need to fight or control every situation. Flexibility and adaptability are central to Stoic philosophy because they empower us to remain steady in the face of life's uncertainties. The Stoic sage is not rigid in their thinking, but adapts to the circumstances at hand with wisdom. For example, the Stoic can remain calm in the face of an unexpected job loss or a sudden illness because they accept that these events are part of the flow of life. What matters is how we choose to respond. This mindset allows us to face changes with equanimity, maintaining our emotional balance and clarity regardless of external factors. To embrace change effectively, Stoics practice negative visualization, a technique where they imagine the worst-case scenario in a given situation. By contemplating potential losses or setbacks, we mentally prepare ourselves for adversity, making it less likely to overwhelm us when it happens. This practice doesn't lead to pessimism, but rather cultivates a sense of readiness and acceptance. Additionally, Stoics focus on the dichotomy of control, understanding what we can control and what we cannot. By letting go of the desire to control the uncontrollable, we open ourselves to growth and adaptation in any situation. Stoicism has been a guiding light through some of history's most turbulent times, and its principles can help us remain composed in the face of personal, but do not let it define us or cloud our judgment. Take the example of Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher who was born a slave, but still taught others how to live a life of dignity and peace. Despite being physically bound by circumstances, he understood that his mind and his ability to choose his responses were always his own. His resilience in the face of suffering exemplifies the Stoic ideal of maintaining virtue and rationality even when life is most difficult. In our own lives, facing a stressful situation, whether it's a difficult relationship, a financial crisis, or an overwhelming workload, we can use Stoic principles to remain calm and focused. A key technique is distancing, stepping back mentally and viewing the problem as if we were an outside observer. This allows us to detach from the emotional charge of the situation and make rational decisions. We also practice acceptance, acknowledging that we may not be able to control all aspects of the situation, but we can control how we react. By remaining rooted in our values and focusing on what we can change, we become more resilient. Adopting a Stoic mindset in the face of adversity also means embracing hardship as an opportunity for growth. Every challenge, no matter how painful, is a chance to build our character, develop patience, and deepen our wisdom. Stoicism teaches us that challenges are not obstacles, but necessary steps in our personal development and journey toward wisdom. At first glance, Stoicism might seem like a philosophy that prioritizes self-discipline and emotional detachment. However, at its heart, Stoicism is deeply concerned with compassion and the well-being of others. The Stoics believe that virtue, the cultivation of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, is not only a personal pursuit, but one that enhances our relationships with others. To live a good life is to act in accordance with virtue, and this naturally leads to compassion, empathy, and understanding. While Stoicism emphasizes self-discipline and control, it is not about becoming cold or indifferent. In fact, Stoicism encourages empathy as a core part of living virtuously. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius frequently reminded himself that people are naturally social creatures, and it is through helping others and acting with kindness that we fulfill our role as part of humanity. Stoicism teaches us to look beyond others' faults and imperfections, understanding that everyone is acting according to their own understanding of the world. By practicing empathy, we cultivate compassion and strengthen our connections with others. In our relationships, Stoicism teaches us to act with virtue, whether we are dealing with friends, family, or strangers. Instead of reacting impulsively to anger or disappointment, Stoicism urges us to respond with reason and understanding. For example, when faced with someone else's mistake or wrongdoing, a Stoic would focus not on judgment, but on how best to respond with compassion and support. This might mean offering guidance, forgiveness, or simply allowing the other person space to grow. The Stoic balance between self-discipline and compassion lies in the understanding that to care for others, we must first care for ourselves. We cannot offer true support if we are emotionally drained or unbalanced. Thus, self-care and self-compassion are not selfish in Stoic thought. They are prerequisites for acting virtuously toward others. By cultivating compassion within ourselves, we extend that same compassion to those around us, creating a ripple effect that leads to a more harmonious and virtuous society. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful tools we can wield for emotional well-being, and its impact reaches deep into the core of who we are. In a Stoic context, forgiveness is not just an act of pardoning someone else for their wrongdoing. It is a path to letting go of past burdens that weigh us down. When we hold on to anger, resentment, or grudges, we carry those negative emotions with us, creating a mental and emotional burden that can hinder our growth and happiness. Forgiveness, however, allows us to release these burdens and move forward with a clearer mind and lighter heart. By forgiving others, we free ourselves from the grip of negative emotions and open ourselves to emotional freedom. Instead of letting another person's actions control our mental and emotional state, forgiveness gives us the power to reclaim our peace. The Stoics recognize that we cannot control the actions of others, but we can always control our reactions. Holding on to past wrongs only perpetuates our suffering, whereas forgiveness allows us to rise above it, fostering emotional clarity and strength. In a Stoic context, forgiveness takes on a deeper meaning. It becomes an expression of virtue and rational understanding. The Stoics believe that by forgiving others, we acknowledge the imperfection inherent in all human beings. Just as we are fallible, so too are others. By practicing forgiveness, we let go of the desire for vengeance and adopt a perspective of compassion and understanding. In doing so, we not only free ourselves from emotional turmoil, but also grow in wisdom and virtue. At the intersection of boundaries, forgiveness, and authentic relationships lies the foundation of mutual respect and understanding. Setting healthy boundaries is essential for maintaining our emotional and mental well-being, but boundaries alone are not enough to create truly meaningful connections. For relationships to be authentic and fulfilling, we must also embrace forgiveness and empathy, acknowledging that, at times, others will make mistakes or cause us harm. When we set clear boundaries, we communicate our needs, values, and limits to others. This not only protects our personal space, but also ensures that relationships are based on mutual respect. For instance, a relationship where both individuals respect each other's time, energy, and emotional needs creates a safe space for growth and connection. However, boundaries are only one part of the equation. At times, even in relationships marked by respect, misunderstandings or conflicts will arise. It is here that forgiveness plays a crucial role. Forgiveness is the means by which we repair and rebuild trust after conflicts. It allows us to move past mistakes, creating a space for growth and reconciliation. Rather than holding on to grudges or using past wrongs as a weapon, we embrace the Stoic practice of understanding. When we forgive, we recognize that people just like us are imperfect, and we offer them the opportunity to learn, grow, and change. By combining healthy boundaries with forgiveness, we create a foundation of authenticity in our relationships, one built on mutual respect, compassion, and the willingness to grow together. Stoicism helps guide us in creating healthier relationships by encouraging us to act with virtue, empathy, and self-awareness. Through Stoic teachings, we learn to approach conflicts with patience, humility, and understanding. We understand that the path to fulfilling relationships is not through perfection, but through mutual respect, honest communication, and a commitment to personal growth. The Stoic journey is one of continual self-discovery, grounded in the pursuit of wisdom, emotional control, and personal growth. By embracing Stoic principles, we cultivate a mindset that allows us to remain resilient in the face of challenges, calm amidst chaos, and compassionate towards ourselves and others. The beauty of Stoicism lies in its practicality. It doesn't demand perfection, but rather a steady commitment to improvement, a focus on what is within our control, and a deep understanding of our own nature. By incorporating Stoic practices like self-reflection, emotional control, forgiveness, and boundary setting into our daily lives, we can create a path that leads to a fulfilled life. A life where we are not ruled by our emotions or external circumstances, but guided by our values and principles. Stoicism teaches us that true happiness does not come from external events, but from cultivating a virtuous life, one where our inner peace, wisdom, and resilience guide us through every trial and triumph. As you walk the Stoic path, remember that it is not a destination, but a lifelong practice. Embrace each day as an opportunity to apply Stoic teachings to your thoughts, actions, and relationships. By doing so, you will find yourself becoming more grounded, compassionate, and wise, moving ever closer to the ideal of a fulfilled, virtuous life.